Rich Eisen from the NFL Network, The Rich Eisen Show on Audience Channel 239 DIRECTV. A few things to dive into. McLovin just gave me a mock draft.
Absurd.
Yeah. Now, will you click on a mock draft?
No,
I know.
sir. Me now?
Yeah.
On October 5th?
Yes.
No, I will not click on a mock draft on October 5th.
But a lot of people do. That's why we have these mock drafts.
I will not, because on a day like today, when there's 2 American League Divisional Series games,
Yeah, but that's
and the
later.
Bucks and the Patriots.
Yeah, but that's later.
There's the Dan Patrick show.
This
at least
is
a
just-
whole hour and 2 more hours, then 3 hours of mine.
But
and,
this is just morning stuff that you can read. You're not
is
interested.
this your way of saying you'd like to read it? Right? It's your show, Dan. It's your anniversary. Happy anniversary, by the way.
What were you doing 10 years ago?
Getting a phone call from you saying you left ESPN.
Yeah. Now, did you,
which I think
what was your reaction?
I was stunned. And it's one of those where I remember where I was when I got that phone call from you, that you said that you had left ESPN, and I'm like, so what is your radio show going to be? And you're like, well, I'm gonna do my own thing. And you were like, hey, if we have regulars on, would you be up for calling in and talking the NFL? And I'm like, name it. Name the time.
You were very generous because I think we locked you in on Fridays and you were there every week for us because I didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. And I was hoping that you would say to me, hey, it's going to be great. Or you're like, you didn't, the confidence level in your voice was not too high.
No, well, I was, the reason why I was just stunned that ESPN would be so stupid to just let you walk or just not figure out how to keep you in their employ.
But they were more
stunned.
important. They were always more important than any of the talent there, and we were reminded of that. So that, like, they wouldn't allow their ego to go, you know what, let's go and make sure that let's keep him there.
But it's for anybody. Look, when you called, I was already gone from ESPN 5 years.
Yeah.
And Thursday Night Football had been 2 years old. So I was beginning to really see the sprouting of whatever we were planting at the NFL Network in 2003. And I never had doubts in you or anything like that. But the fact that you were going to start this show up and now where you are and what you're doing with it and what you have done with it and what it is just, it's awesome. I'm like thrilled I'm actually here on this day that you guys celebrating your 10th. It's pretty cool.
But also I wanted your feedback because you did take a chance. You know, you left to go to a fledgling, network in the NFL Network. We had no idea what it was going to be, and then you said, no, it's kind of time to go. But I remember it being a big deal that you said, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to the NFL Network.
It was an interesting time. I'll never forget. It was the NBA All-Star Game in Staples in 2004. And Susie, my wife, and she had just left Fox Sports and having covered the Lakers and Shaq and Kobe. So basically Staples was her playground. So we were all set up, tickets, the whole thing. The NBA got, she was tight with then the assistant commissioner, Silver. At any rate, we're there. And somebody comes up to me and says, hey, man, I watch you every day. And the NFL Network was on in just 12 million homes. DirecTV was our only home, pretty much, for distribution. So I'm like, wow, you watch the NFL Network? And he goes, no, what's that? I watch SportsCenter every day. I'm like, I'm not on SportsCenter anymore. I left, about 5 months ago. Guy pauses and he goes, are you all right?
I still have people who think I'm on SportsCenter.
Yeah, I get on planes and people hum the SportsCenter, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, and all that stuff. And
I'll get that, hey, SportsCenter dude.
I do. I must tell you, though, I was just the other day going to a doctor's appointment in Beverly Hills, and I come out of the elevator, and a woman says to me, pause, looks at me in the face, she goes, are you Dan Patrick? And I'm like, no, I'm not that handsome.
But thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment.
That actually truthfully happened 2 days ago.
All right, McLovin gave me this. McLovin loves
You
mock
really
draft.
want to read this mock draft?
Well,
Not all of it.
Let me explain.
Okay.
There's an L.A. angle. We're in L.A., and we're
gosh.
sitting at a dinner table with a lot of USC fans and a lot of UCLA fans. So that was the original hook of this mock draft.
We're trying to fix the Chargers. So I'm thinking if they got Josh Rosen or Sam Darnold.
That I was absolutely just thinking that the other day because that has been a conversation I heard when your conversation about this last couple of days, that the Chargers are non-existent here in Los Angeles. They are essentially non-existent. And then the fact that they played 3 straight home games and all of them felt like road games and they lost all of them certainly just sends it even more into a tailspin. And the only way that it could poor Phillip Rivers is if they do get one of the kids that is so popular here in this town playing on Saturdays to play for them on Sundays. That would be a big get for them, I think.
How did the Chargers not see any of this happening?
Dollars and cents, I think.
But do you think it was just that, that's the NFL mentality is, hey, this will work anywhere. Our fans are going to follow. I mean, did they do a focus group or market research?
I believe they must have. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they were doing this, crossing their fingers. But I cannot imagine anybody wouldn't just take the temperature here and see that the most popular NFL team in this town that used to play here are the Raiders.
Yeah.
And that was a non-starter for a lot of people. Then goes the Rams, and then it's the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers played in Los Angeles one season in the AFL days. There's really no history of the Chargers.
Not a big fan base left over from that.
Not so
if
much.
they're even still alive.
Not so much. So it really was not going to be helpful if they were bad, and they have not been good at all. And this is a big test for LA NFL this weekend, because you've heard the conversation. You've had it. You need 3 things for the NFL to be successful. You need a winning team, you need a dynamic team, and you need a star. And they've got a 3-1 Rams team that is lighting up the NFL and a bona fide MVP star in Todd Gurley. And it's not just the way he's playing, speaking to other NFL players and how they view Todd Gurley. They view him like as a godfather type stud young guy.
Really?
that has the respect of everyone in this league. Josh Norman, who doesn't throw many bouquets at his opponents, tweeted out on the flight home after the Redskins beat the Rams here, saying, "I'm watching the film, and Todd Gurley, you're a beast." So if the fans don't show up for Pete Carroll's Seahawks in the Coliseum this weekend, then I think it's another alarm bell to be set off, because the Rams are really exciting to see.
All right, we'll come back with Rich Eisen. I want to ask him about what happened with Cam Newton. What's the next step for Cam Newton with what he said yesterday, and the mock draft? We've got to get to the mock draft. And, of course, is this a must-win situation for the New England Patriots? All of those items will be answered next. Dan Patrick Show. I think you may have a stat of the day for us. So,
I do.
Yeah, if you'd like to now.
Can I request which stat of the day music I want?
You can.
Of course.
Okay. I've always got to go Ron Burgundy. Can I get that?
All right,
one?
2-a-days.
Okay.
Here we go.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, blah, blah, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
I don't know the exact numbers, which is the worst way to start a stat of the day. But Kareem Hunt's second half rushing yard total is more than the second place rush yard total overall in the league.
You got
His second half rush yards.
You got crushed by the post there, Rich.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
He's not wearing cans.
What happened?
Though, so.
Yeah.
I don't have cans on in the radio business.
Yeah, you don't have your headphones.
So what, should I say it again now? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Kareem Hunt's second half rush yard total would lead the league in and of itself. It's 10 more rush yards than Todd Gurley has as a whole all season.
Continental Tire, stat of the day.
Oh, yeah, it's sponsored.
Yes.
Me getting the post is sponsored.
It's the exclusive tire of the Dan Patrick Show. Continental Tire has all the details about these great tires. All right. Yes, Paulie.
We have a video for you, and I know Rich is here. One of our old friends of the show, who you once called Soft, wanted to check in on your 10th anniversary of the new version of the show. It's our buddy Ashton Kutcher.
Ah.
Hey, Dan. How you doing? It's Ashton Kutcher here. Just want to congratulate you on your 10th anniversary. Hope all's well with you. I'm still keeping it hard over here. Hope you're staying hard. Because we men, we know a thing or two about being hard, staying hard, keeping it hard. And, I learned a little something from you about that, because I know you were having difficulties with that, and but I heard you got it figured out. So thank God for the marvels of magic medicine. Bravo, congrats, 10 years, big ups.
That's Ashton Kutcher, who I once called soft. I remember I was helping Demi Moore with her fantasy team.
Of course.
And, of course, I mean, I do that. You know,
That's a great way to start a story, by the way.
So I'm helping Demi with her fantasy. I did that with Katherine Heigl. I mean, I do that. I help these women. Nicole Kidman said, no, I don't need your help. But, so I helped Demi with her fantasy team. And she's in the car with Ashton, and she's talking to me. And then I said something about Ashton being soft. And she played it for him, and he was like, soft? Like, what? How's he calling me soft? Like, he was really bothered by this. And it was a throwaway line. I don't even know why I said it.
He hasn't let it go.
Yes, as you can tell, 10 years later.
That's your
soft.
go-to line for a lot of
You're
people. You're
soft. Well, Fritzy's soft. That's for sure.
I had a legitimate injury yesterday. I think I cracked a rib, and you're making light of it.
Right.
I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to say you bruised something.
It's not anything worse than that.
I don't think you'd be broadcasting today if it was a cracked rib situation.
Because when I breathe deeply, it feels tight. I shouldn't go to Cedars-Sinai or anything.
Yes, you should. I think you should. Yeah,
For a variety of other
Hour
reasons.
3, give periodic updates.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
On the ones.
Yeah, if you want to and you need to leave.
Fritzy bitching and moaning on the ones.
It's
Here on the
very
Dan
tight.
Patrick Show, live from Cedars-Sinai.
I think I did
Some
something.
things never change after 10 years, do they, Todd? All right, couple things to get to. Is this a must-win game for the Patriots
Absolutely
tonight?
not. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
They still play in the American Football Conference Eastern Division.
Yeah.
And the Bills do look to be better and stout, but I still need to see them go into New England, even though they did it last year. I do it, but I do need to see them win a football game with Tom Brady quarterback in there, with the division on the line, and make the Patriots a wild card team.
Well, how important is this game? Because people are looking at it from one angle here,
Yes.
and it's the Patriots angle.
Yes.
How important is this for the Buccaneers to win a home game?
It is big.
Like this.
It is big, certainly because the NFC South looks to be.
And it feels like it's bigger for Tampa than it is New England in some ways.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yes, and then the NFC South, it does seem to be shifting. A couple of weeks ago, the AFC West was definitely the toughest division in football. The NFC South appears to be. That's the only division with everybody at 500 or above. So I think it's important for the Bucs to start fast tonight and figure out how to put Brady on his behind with a front seven. And we'll see if Gronk's questionable. We'll see if he actually plays tonight. I think he will.
Explain to me what you would do if you were advising Cam Newton after what he said yesterday with the reporter from the Charlotte
Apologize. Was just having fun. And let's go to Detroit. I would say that. Just say it. I mean, I just feel silly even talking about it. It's 2017, and talking about it other than just to say that it's stupid and it's silly. Obviously, I come from the point of view where my wife worked in the business for a long time. Yesterday's NFL Total Access was hosted and produced by 4 women on the NFL Network. It's ridiculous to even just hear that question from a working member of the press and see gender and hear gender in 2017. It's beyond ridiculous. And then it opens up the question of just like, well, I mean, what do women know about playing? It's just so. I thought we were done with this. Didn't Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs? I mean, honestly. So just having this conversation to me sounds silly. But he's made it, I guess, a national conversation. And then, of course, social media lets anybody chime in whenever they want on whatever subject, and then immediately say we're being too harsh within 5 minutes of the statement being said.
Yeah.
So if I was advising him, I'd basically say, sorry, I apologize. I respect everybody, regardless of gender, who does the job. Hashtag stick to pouting,
The mock draft that I am so desperately anxious to get to here, because McLevin brought this to my attention. He printed out a mock draft for everybody here. Everybody gets a mock draft. You get a mock draft. You get a mock
Yes.
The number 1 player in the latest mock draft on CBS Sports
Oh, gosh.
is Josh Rosen, would go to the Browns. Would the Browns give up on Deshaun Kaiser already? And they,
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, here's what the Browns are going to do. They're going to do one of 2 things. They're going to either
screw it up.
give it up. No, they're either going to draft one of the top quarterbacks in college football, or they will trade the pick for 3 number 2s, a number 3, and somebody else's quarterback that they want to get rid of for salary cap purposes, because they are all about
Sounds
the
familiar.
analytics there in
Yeah,
Cleveland. They're
that's-
just going to combine everything they've done for the last 3 years in one transaction. Top the
So
draft.
the mock draft has Josh Rosen going number 1 overall. The interesting part is the second quarterback to be selected is not Sam Darnold.
Was it Josh Allen?
It's not Josh Allen.
Is it Baker Mayfield?
It's not Baker Mayfield. It's Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Now,
But I mean, let's just start the fact that we could pick and choose what we see from Sam Darnold in that Wazoo game and Texas game, and say, well, what happened in the TCU game? I mean, this is crazy.
Sam
talk.
Rosen's going in the
Madness.
first round, by the way.
Who is?
Sam Rosen.
That's what I
Sam
said.
Darnold. Yes, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold.
Who's going to call Ranger games, Dan?
Sam Rosen. Sam Darnold going 31st to the Steelers as Ben's successor.
Oh, my
How about
gosh.
that?
There's
some
I will say this-
clickbait there.
I will say this right now.
Okay.
There is no way Sam Darnold drops the 31st overall.
Hot take.
next
Hot take.
year. That's not a, is that a hot take
I
from
don't,
the
I don't think it's a hot take.
There's no way
I don't
he
think you're-
drops the 31st overall next year.
McLovin?
There's no way.
I just want to point out that I think this proved our point about mock drafts. Rich is totally engaged with this mock
I
draft
know.
against his will.
No. If you are going to
gotcha.
if you are going to suck me into the morass, I will play in whatever pig pen you set up for me here. All right, but I mean, I've been fortunate to be sitting on draft sets for pretty much since I left ESPN, to bring it all full circle, and I've been to over a dozen combines, and I've heard it all.
Yeah.
Last year's conversation was there may not be a number one, there may not be a first-round draft pick in this quarterback group. They may all fall out of the first round based on what we're seeing and what we're hearing, and the tape and the eye in the sky doesn't lie. And then a ton of them get drafted in the first round, and then all we hear after the draft is we may not see a rookie quarterback start this year. Not only we see one drafted in the second round be the first one to have actually a start. Deshaun Watson is lighting it up right now. And then, your buddy Ashton Kutcher will be locked into Monday Night Football
Mitchell
to see if
Trubisky.
Mitchell is the second coming.
All right. I got 15 seconds to ask you this.
Yes, sir.
If I said you can have, who's the best quarterback in the state of Texas?
Right now.
Who would you take? Who's future? You want Dak Prescott or Deshaun Watson?
Oh, gosh. I'll take Deshaun Watson.
Ooh.
Ever since I saw what he did in that first game against Alabama, I thought to myself, this kid is special. Then he beat Alabama, and I'm like, why would you not want this kid who's got a heart of gold?
Oh, he's a great kid.
And
but
so,
imagine,
so does Dak, too, by the way. So does Dak, too. He's got a heart of gold as well. I'm just saying that because I think it's going to get the most clicks for a DP show.
and that's what we want.
That's my 10th anniversary gift to you is more clicks, Dan.
Yay, more clicks. He's Rich Eisen, NFL Network host and host of The Rich Eisen Show. Thank you, Rich.
Booyah.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.